Welcome students, part 2 of chapter 2, revision. So today we are going to talk about the utility programs. What do you mean by utility program? Basically, utility program manages the computer with different specific topics like networks, managing the file, disk management, scanning the devices, and creating the backup when it's required. So we are going to talk about the utility programs now. These programs assist in the smooth functioning of the computer system and help it to perform better, like the time of virus attack. It needs to take the backup of the data, and when you take the backup of the data, why you take the backup of the data? We take the backup of the data because if we lose the data, we can recover that. And then when we recover, before we recovering the data, the disk needs to be cleaned up. How to clean up? Using the antivirus, we can do the cleaning. To do the antivirus, what we have to do? We have to check if there is a virus is not or not. For that, what we use? The scanning. And then recovering the data is known as backup. So this is the procedure. Now when we look at this procedure, our computer is connected with the lots of different computers using the networks. In Windows, we have a networks utility. Now network utility check the network connectivity configuration. That means your computer is connected to the internet or any kind of networks or not. For that, a connectivity checkup is required. Who does that one? It's a network utility. It ensures that network speed and performance, monitors the network traffic, means how many people are connected and all, from a particular device or a particular monitor. That monitor is called console. So what is another name of the console? Monitor. And then it tracks what is the speed of the computer using the bandwidth. Next, all the disk informations are stored in a file, and those files needs to be managed. Who manages that one? File manager. So the file manager utility helps the user to perform various operations on file, such as viewing, editing, copying, deleting, and other purposes. It also manages files and folders and organizing them in a computer storage device. The computer storage device means our hard disk. Then you need to manage your disk. Disk means various disks: floppy disk, hard disk, CD-ROM, CD, DVD, all these are called disk. Now to manage this disk, we have a disk management system. So disk management utility enables a user to view and manage the disk drives installed in a computer. It can be used for dividing this into different parts. How? Using the partitioning of the drive. Then if any error is happen, then you have to erase every information, and before you use, you have to erase it. For that, we have to go for formatting the device. Again, each device needs to be uniquely identified with a character, and that character is assigned using the disk management. And we can do all other different things using the disk management. Now we are going to look at the scanning of the device. What is the meaning of scanning of the device? Scanning means examining the disk if it is in a proper condition or not. if there is any kind of virus attack is or not. That virus is also known as malware. And you have to check that your disk is having any kind of malware attack or virus attack is there or not. To do that, we need a software that is called scanning software. And if there is any attack, then we have to remove those all virus. And to remove those virus, we use a software which is known as antivirus. So to remove the virus, we have to use the software that is called antivirus. The example of antivirus is Quickhill, Avast, AVJ, Norton, etc. Now, these viruses can attack in your different drives. The drives means where we store the informations and through which we operate the total computer system. The informations are stored in various drives: hard drives, floppy drive, pen drive, compact disk, DVD, etc. So these all drives needs to be checked before we use it for future purpose. So that's the reason we use the scanning of the disk, and the scanning of the disk is possible with the help of antivirus. Now, after removing those viruses, you need to restore the information which are lost by the virus effects. Now, what you do, because of this virus effect, you already get informed, and then what you do, you keep that data, all the data as a backup. Means in a certain time, we store the data in a different disk, and then whenever we find there is any kind of virus attack, we remove those virus. When we remove the virus, some portion of the data may be lost. So how to get it back? Using the backup process. This process of backup recover the data in case of damage or accidental loss. So the backup use is what? To get back the data in case of accidental loss of data or damage of data. Damage of data is also possible in case any part of the disk is been affected by the virus or maybe the electrical pulses. So very important things, we need to get back those data. For this, we use the backup of the data. Now we are going to talk about the compression. What is the meaning of compression? Compression means making the file size smaller so that it takes the less disk space, and whenever we need to copy this data into another disk, we need a smaller size space so that whenever we want to get it back, we can increase the size and install in our hard disk. So first we have to make it small. How to make it small is known as compression. For making this file smaller, we have a different files, different kind of operating system files. They are called WinZip, PKZip, 7-zip, etc., etc. So using these files, we can shrink the files. Shrink means making the file smaller in size. So compression is a process that shrinks the file so that less disk space is occupied. So what is the definition? Compression is a process that shrinks the file so that less disk space is occupied. And what are the examples? WinZip, PKZip, 7-zip, etc.